If you live in New York, good news. They changed the regulations this year. You can fish for trout year-round in inland streams. Welcome back to The Unknown Angler. Today we're going to go winter fishing in New York State. They changed the regs. It's 2022, and they've changed the regulations so you can fish in all inland streams in New York State for trout. It's catch and release, so you have to release everything, and it's no bait, so you need to use artificials only. So fly fishing, it's the deal real. Anyway, so the first thing I can tell you about winter fishing, since this is a how-to, is to get dressed before you leave the house. Put your waders on, get your rod rigged up, put the rod in the back of the truck or break it down, put it in the back of the car, but tie all your flies on and get your strike indicator and everything else on before you actually leave the house. Mainly because you don't want to stand in a cold parking lot. It's usually pretty cold out when you go winter fishing, and tie on flies or put on your gear. So do it all before you leave the house. I usually fish an assortment of beadhead flies, usually on jiggy hooks. They don't snag up as much, and usually between 14s and 12s, all attractors. I also up my game in the winter. I usually fish a 6 weight with 5X or better tippet, strike indicator, and a 2-fly rig. All my 2-fly rigs I tie inline. The point fly is usually the beadhead, and the following fly is usually a little bit smaller. I like to keep everything between the 12 and 14 size range. Don't go much smaller than 14, and don't go a whole lot bigger. Today I fished the Copper John and an egg pattern all day. It's January 13th, 2022 today. The air temperature is 37 degrees, and that's why I went fishing. The last couple of days have been absolutely frigid, and tomorrow it's supposed to be down into the single digits. So 13th was a one-day warm-up, got us into the about 35 to 37 degree range. Not real warm, but it's warm enough so that your hands don't absolutely freeze, and there's no ice in the guides, which is pretty much my criteria for fishing during the winter. It keeps it comfortable for me, and it keeps me on fish a little bit better. Also, the fish become really active later on in the day on those warmer days. Getting up at 6 in the morning and going to the stream, that's not the best idea. I usually wait until at least noon, 1 o'clock or so to go down. The other part too is understand, it is cold. You're only going to fish for a couple of hours. This is in the middle of the summer where you're going to be out there for 4 or 5 hours. And if you notice, when I got out of the car, I was wearing boot foot waders. The reason I'm bringing that up now is that if you wear stocking foot waders that have lace-ups, there's 2 problems with those. They don't keep your feet quite as warm, and also the laces freeze. So that when you go to take them off, when you get home or when you go to get in the car, you can't get them off because the laces are frozen. So that in mind, the boot foots work really, really well.
Got the death roll going here. I don't know why. Might have. See what we got. Oh, no. Copper John too, again. Copper John in the mouth. Really nice fish.
Let's talk a little bit about the water I'm looking for here. I'm looking for deep, slow runs, something over 2 feet deep. The places you fish in the summer and in the spring, skinny water, the riffles, they don't usually hold a lot of fish this time of year. What you're looking for is you're looking for pocket water or eddies behind big rocks or big obstructions in the stream, maybe a fallen tree. And some long runs, slow runs,
there you go,
with some deep water in them, 2 to 3 feet. Nothing, exorbitantly deep. If you can find something deeper than that, that's great.
Fish.
The other thing too is you always want to fish dead on bottom. If you're not snagging up every once in a while, or you're not touching bottom, and you can see it in the strike indicator, then you're really not fishing. These fish are going to be hanging dead on bottom, They're going to be lethargic, they're going to be slow. So
copperjun.
you need to really get down to the fish. The other thing too is a lot of the fish that are out there are not going to feed heavily or not going to move a lot this time of year. What you're looking for is what I call a player. You're looking for a fish that's basically got ADD. He's moving around. He's actually feeding, and if you pass a fly by him, he's probably going to go
There
over,
we go.
grab it and pick it up. That's
Nice.
why I fish a lot of attractors and a lot of larger sized flies. Normally on this stretch
Very
of water, I wouldn't fish anything close to a size 12 during the regular season. And a lot of the time I'd fish something probably in the 14 or down in the 16 range. So winter things change and you want to up the game a little bit.
This is a perfect example of what you're looking for in the winter. You can see the bubbles created by the little riffle right there. It's actually a down log, and that's called the bubble line. And the bubble line runs right down the eddy line. It's slow in here, very slow. It's very deep. On the outside, it's still deep until it reaches those riffles over there, which are very shallow. But there's a pocket of water in here that's deep, and there's a seam, and that seam is slow water where the fast water meets, and those fish will sit right on the outside of the slow water, and they'll dart into the faster water to pick up food that comes down. Anyway, let's see if anything's in here.
Remember, this time of year in the winter, the water is gin clear. If there's snow on the bank and you don't have a lot of runoff, even if you do have a lot of runoff, there isn't a lot of dirt that comes off of that runoff until later on in the season. We're talking dead of winter. I'm not talking spring here, but the water's gin clear. Remember to approach the fish from downstream. Coming in from upstream is tough, and if you watch a lot of these fish I caught, if they were caught on the downstream side, they were caught way downstream, and I was probably feeding line out to the fly to try to get a little bit more distance downstream from it. That's when I picked up the fish. So you got to kind of be stealthy and wade slowly, not in a big rush. Nothing's more important this time of year than a good mend in your line. You need to get the slowest drift you can, you need to get that nymph on the bottom, and you need to mend the heck out of your line so that you get a nice natural slow drift and you're ticking bottom all the way down.
See what he took. He took the copperjun right up top. Nice little fish. Is that a fish? That's a fish. Oh shoot. He's off? No, he's not. Okay, that's a fish. Nice. Come on. Oh. Oh, hello. That's a bit better than the last one. Very nice. Copper John again.
That's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.